Hi, welcome back to HATV. I'm Paul Malkmus.
I'm Ann Malkmus.
And today we're on a really interesting topic.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah, canola oil. We see it in so many ingredients in the store. They use it in chips and they use it in salad dressings. They use it everywhere.
Well, there was a period of time people thought it was good for you.
And then we heard that all canola oil is bad for us. And so it's really been a confusing topic over the years. And so we've decided to do a little segment on it here in our question and answer session. We brought Scott Laird in. And Scott actually grew up in Canada, and he knows more. And he was also worked for a company that actually dealt with canola oil.
Right. Yeah, we did the marketing where I used to work for the one of the large seed distributors in Saskatchewan, Canada.
And so when we started talking about this, he had so much knowledge about canola oil and the history of it. We said, "Come on, Scott, let's have a discussion on it."
Who better to answer that question? Is canola oil good for you?
Well, it depends.
Well, that's a great
That's
answer.
a solid answer.
It depends. Well, canola oil, many people don't know. It's not even a real word. Canola rather is an acronym. It's Canadian Oil Low Acid, Canola. It was created in Canada in 1978, and that's how they coined it. And what they did was they hybridized it. They cross-pollinated it, for lack of a better term, from rapeseed. Because rapeseed, it was seen as not suitable for the Western diet. People in China and India had been using it for thousands of years with no problems, but the Westerners seemed a little more choosy about their oil. So they said, well, take it into the lab. Let's create something that for human consumption that Western people will like.
And they felt that rapeseed was too high in
the erucic acid.
acid, okay.
Yeah. Whereas, like I said, the Chinese people and Indian people didn't have a problem with that. So they created canola oil. Well, canola went on for a while, and they created oil out of it. And for a while there, everything was fine. And then some tests came out that said all canola oil is bad. It causes heart disease in rats. It does all these terrible things. And all of a sudden, everybody was down on on canola oil. And I thought the same thing as well. And it turns out that there's a couple of different factors. The fact that canola is hybridized from rapeseed or cross-pollinated is just fine. The problem is that a great percentage of canola oil these days is genetically modified. So, for example, they take it into the lab and they mess with the genes so that when Roundup herbicide or a different kind of herbicide is spread on a field, everything else will die, but the canola will live.
That's similar to what they do with the soy.
Exactly. Yeah.
And corn.
And corn.
So there's that issue. The other issue is that most canola oil you buy is refined with chemicals such as hexane and things like this, and with a high heat. Processed at high heat. And that causes another problem. That is where all the test results came from, this kind of oil. So regardless of the fact that that the rats metabolize fat different than humans, there's this factor mixed in there as well. So is all canola oil bad? Well, there's some suggestions out there that say that if you can find organic canola oil that is cold pressed, much as the same way we advise people to look for olive oil, then it could be fine. But we don't really know because there's not enough data out there. But it's most likely safer than what you see with the processed stuff.
Right.
So you're looking for organic, cold pressed, and even then, though it's safer than what you normally find, you're still not sure.
No one's really sure. Yeah, there's not enough data on it. However, Flora, the company that sells Udo's oil, they have such a canola oil. So if you're looking for an oil of that nature, they have it.
And what would be the benefits of canola oil, say, over an extra virgin olive oil? Do we know?
I don't know that there's been that kind of testing done. I haven't seen it, at least anyway, but because I always thought the canola oil was bad, so I literally put it on the shelf. Yeah, and I would use olive oil for salads and coconut oil for cooking and that kind of thing. And so comparing the two, I haven't really seen the data between the two. They could be quite comparable.
Well, it's interesting that, here we are, we think canola was bad, then we realize that certain types of canola oil is bad, but there's some that may be good for us. And it's quite an interesting topic.
So I guess for all of you who have sent us that question, should I eat canola oil or should I consume canola oil? I guess our response is there may be other oils out there that you could probably consume, and we've got enough evidence to support they're good for you.
Yeah.
with fewer questions behind them as well.
Right.
And what we would want to stay away from are the oils that, the canola oil that's in the processed food. So when we see it in the salad dressings and when we see it in the chips and things that are in the market, it's not good oil for us to consume because it's not been processed right.
And it's hydrogenated.
Right, and it's genetically engineered. I think 90% of canola is genetically modified.
It's around there. I believe it's between 80 and 90. It's a high percentage.
And that's just so they can withstand the Roundup. So, when you eat canola that's been genetically modified, it's also been sprayed with Roundup. And so they're consuming some of the Roundup as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, the pesticide is a further issue. So
Yes, it is.
look for organic, especially when you're talking about canola oil.
It's really important. But this is such an interesting topic and one we've struggled with for so long in providing a good answer. And thank you for coming on today.
Oh, you're welcome.
Sharing some insights on it. It's really neat. Yeah. So this is AM and PM with HATV, and we'll see you next time.